welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel. My name is Jen, aka xUrbanSims, and finally we are on my favorite part of this three-part overview on the brand new Vampire Gamepack that is released tomorrow, by the way, Tuesday 24th. And in case you guys were wondering, how did I get this early? Well, I got this because this is a review copy, shall I say, specifically so I can put this video out there for you guys to give you my thoughts and opinions, so you can weigh the pros and the cons whether or not you want to pick this up for yourself. Price point on this bad boy is $19.99. You can pre-order on Amazon, Origin, wherever your heart desires. And yeah, so anyways, about this being the gameplay portion of the video, if you're wondering where is Cass, where is build buy mode, we go pretty dang in depth on those. So I'm going to link the two videos down below for you guys to check out, as well as at the end of the video, so you can pick and choose what kind of content you want to see first. And I think that's all that I really need to say, other than the fact, a little like description about this game pack is there's 4 main core parts: creating vampires, unleashing supernatural powers, escaping to Forgotten Hollow, and living the immortal life. All of which we're going to explore in this video, so put your seatbelts on, kids, because we're going in for one hell of a ride. Alrighty guys, so the moment many of you have been waiting for, I know I have been waiting for this moment. The gameplay, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to take you guys through most of what I know about this brand new pack, because there is so much content. Hopefully I will be able to go over 90% of it, but of course there's going to be that 10% that you'll have to discover on your own, and anything else I forget in between. But hopefully I can be as thorough as possible so you can make your decision based on what you see here today. All right, so here we are in the starter home with Miss Amelia May, pre-vampire, I guess, in another dimension. I wanted to go ahead and use her for the beginning portion of this gameplay walkthrough, whatever, because we are going to have her transition. Yes, we are. So exciting. So, like I had mentioned in my Creative Sim portion of this review, of course, you guys can see that. I'll link it down below. There are 3 different ways to become a vampire, to my knowledge. You are either able to go ahead and create a vampire and create a sim, you're born into it, or you are turned. And today we're going to go ahead and show you exactly what it looks like to be turned into a vampire by your own will, I guess. Does that make sense? Maybe? I don't know. So the first thing that we're going to have to do is we are going to have to go and find ourselves a vampire. So there's like a lot of townies and stuff that just kind of walk through here, which is great for when you need to feed. There will also be like a lot of different types of vampires that don't necessarily have a, what the hell is this? That don't necessarily have like a home or a place to call home, but also somehow reside or frequent visit Forgotten Hollow. It's a weird situation. But the surefire way to get your sim to turn blah 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 is to visit Mr. Count Vladis Strad the 5th. We're gonna go ahead and pay this gentleman a visit. Now, he's a little bit of a freaking grumpy Gus. He has a really just bad personality. Not somebody I personally would want to hang out with, you know, on a day-to-day basis, let alone, you know, have any sort of relationship with. But he is literally the lord of vampires. So if you're looking to get a quick turn or a quick fix-in, definitely visit his house. There's so much to tell you about vampires, you guys. There's levels and ranks. There's also power points that you can earn to be able to get, obviously, new powers to become more powerful as a vampire. Let's just find Mr. Strauss. I can't really remember where he was last time I came here. He was like sitting at this organ, but now I don't see him anywhere. Now he's kind of like a really, maybe he's all the way up here. Oh my God, where the hell is this guy? I actually don't even see him. Okay, so let's see. Come in. Okay, he allowed us to come in, but do you guys see him anywhere? I don't see him. Oh my goodness, of course this would happen. He's not even home. Are you kidding? Or am I just like really blind? Maybe he's all the way downstairs. He's a good hider. I bet you he's probably in his, oh, he's right here. He's right there. Okay. So he's actually playing the organ downstairs, and oh my God, he has like a whole freaking layer of coffins. Kind of scary. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and give him a friendly introduction. And you know, the cool thing about being a vampire is, or getting to be turned by a vampire, is you don't really have to build a super large relationship with them. At least I haven't had the problem of being turned, like just being an acquaintance. But I am gonna try to like get our relationship out of the red with him and into the green, because I do think you at least need that to be able to ask somebody to turn you, which is kind of interesting. So I can make a vampire pun, which I think is hilarious. There's some really cute jokes, by the way, with this little interaction. I'll have to show you guys in just a moment, and I'll talk to you about all the information about vampires. But my first goal is to get us to be able to be one. I really don't know anything more about vampires. Try searching a computer. Oh, he's playing the organ. Thank you very much for laughing at my puns. Oh my god, that's so stupid. There was like another one. It says, why do vampires love going to restaurants? And then it was like, because they like getting a bite to eat or something. It was there's some funny jokes on here. Like, I really loved that little bit. So as you guys can see, we could already ask him to turn us. So let's go ahead and get turned. I'm so excited. He may deny it, but I don't think he should. So let's go ahead and try it out. All right, so she's going to go and ask Mr. Stroud, I think is what his name is, to give us a little nibble on the artery. And of course, I think he wants to build a vampire empire, so I think he should be more... Ooh, he should be more than willing. Look, he turned into his dark form. And he compels us to forget this moment. Ooh, and there he goes, in for the kill. He bites her neck. And let's see, it looks very, very Vampire Diaries to me. And then after he gets a little drinky, I think he bites his wrist. And then he completes the transition by giving some of his blood. Wow. And then he pushes her off. Perfect. And now her tummy is glowing, this purpley kind of ambiance. And then let's see what happens next. So that's pretty much it right there. And now she's got this brand new moodlet, and it says, strangely hungry from a weird feeling, appetite increasing, but not really for food. Becomes disgusted by food in 3 question marks. So now that Amelia is, in her transitioning period, what is this? Ominous refrain. There's just something about the chimes of the pipe organ that causes tingles down the spine. I don't know if that's like a good thing or a bad thing. I don't think she's really enjoying these organs, but we're gonna go home real quick to let Amelia wait out her transition. So let's talk about turning. You are going to be hungry a lot. This next day and a half, I think it's about a day and a half to transition, is going to be one of the most uncomfortable periods of your Sim's life. It is going to be confusing. You're going to get a lot of like purpley, grumbly, feelings in your stomach. Your stomach's going to glow purple. It's just really interesting. I love the transition period. I think it's so cool. And then, I don't know if this happens by... any person that you get turned by, but I did mention, I can't remember exactly what video it is, but whenever a Sim turns you, they become kind of like your vampire parent in a sense, and you become their offspring. So they'll mentor you. You'll get like a series of text messages and phone calls, kind of walking you through almost tutorial-esque through your transition. And again, it's about a day and a half. So I don't know if you'll get a call from any person who turns you, but I noticed when I did do like a little demo playthrough just to gather all this information, I got several calls from Mr. Stroud kind of letting me know how this was going to work. So just a little bit of information there. So we're going to wait her transition period. I'm very, very excited to go ahead and check that out. Right now, she's feeling really tense and just kind of very weary and icky and whatever. I'm actually going to go ahead and go upstairs, use the bathroom, let her kind of do whatever she feels like she wants to do. Now, I definitely wanted to talk to you guys really quickly. We're kind of jumping ahead here just while we're waiting for her transition. There are some new plants to be spoken of. There are 3 new plants, by the way. So there are garlic plants, which I thought was really cool. I don't know if these will keep vampires at bay or away if you're a mortal sim. But I do know that if a vampire sim ingests one of these little morsels, they'll get a negative moonlit from doing so. Then over here, I'm going to take you guys over right here to this plant. There is the Sixum mosquito trap. I have no idea what this does or what it's for. Ooh, but look, it moves. Ew. It kind of looks like a baby Venus flytrap. It's kind of cute. It's really weird. I don't know what the hell this thing does or what the purpose of it is, but is it going to catch one of these mosquitoes? Let's see. No? I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea. And then the last but not least is wolfsbane. Wolfsbane can actually be used in food and drinks, and it affects the nocturnal sims. So wolfsbane looks a little something like this. Wild wolfsbane, I'm going to go ahead and have her harvest some. Why not? Go ahead and try that out. So I just want to throw that out there. There are some brand new plants and all that kind of fun stuff, but we're going to get more in depth about all the new skills and, the power and the perk points. We're going to use actually a different family, but the main thing that we're doing right now is just kind of waiting for Amelia to go ahead and transition. I'm waiting to get some of those phone calls from Mr. Stroud so I can actually show you guys what that kind of looks like, because it's really cool. It's really interesting. I like little details like that. So she's feeling kind of like she needs a little bit of fun in her life. Let's go ahead and have her go back home really quick. I'm probably going to let her do a little bit of fun, that kind of stuff, and maybe have her go to sleep. So we're getting welcomed by the welcome wagon. This is Caleb Valtore. We're gonna go ahead and invite him inside our house, which I think is really cool. So he's one of the vampire sims, and as you can see, he's kind of burning up a little bit. Even though it is about 2:30 in the afternoon, I've noticed that Forgotten Hollow is still pretty vibrant. It's not like Midnight Hollow, I think is what it was in The Sims 3, but it does get dark around 6:30, so you will notice that it gets relatively darker earlier than maybe some of the other basic worlds here. So let's go have her sleep, because like I said, your Sim's gonna be spending these next several days extremely uncomfortable. Like I said, for Amelia to go ahead and transition, it only took a day and a half, for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and wait and see if I get any of these phone calls. Now, again, I've kind of done this before, so I don't know if he'll start calling me or whatnot, but I really hope that he does, because that would be really freaking amazing. All right, so see, her little tummy was grumbly, and I'm trying to have her go to sleep, but is he still here? He is. Okay, he needs to leave, because if he doesn't leave, we're going to be waiting all freaking damn day. So let's go ahead, kind of zoom through here, and we're going to ask him to go ahead and take a hike. As you guys can see, vampires are really, really fast. They have supersonic speed when it comes to running. So let's go ahead and sleep. Mr. Stroud hasn't called us or anything, which is kind of unfortunate. I was kind of hoping he would, so I could show you guys those cool little interactions here. But he may think that we are able to handle it, and since we've already kind of done this before, he may not even bother us. But if it is your first transition in game, you may receive some phone calls from him or whoever transitioned you or turned you. All right, so she's going to go ahead and grab some food. And another thing is, no matter how much they eat, they're just still really hungry. The food doesn't satisfy them the way that it used to. And I wanted to also show you, I've mentioned this already, the little spiders in the cobwebs actually move. It's so scary. There's so many cool new build by mode objects. Seriously, you guys, there's so much. You'll have to check them out. I have all the links, all the details down below in case you guys are interested. So she's still pretty feeling like crap. Sure, Jen, that works. We'll just go ahead and have her go sleep. So this is kind of what Forgotten Hollow looks like at night, in case you guys want to take a peek. Looks like this. Super beautiful. This is kind of like the town square, as I like to call it. And then here is another, not painting, but a sculpture of a Mr. Stroud. I don't know if it's him specifically. Oh, look, a bird landed on his head. I don't know if it's him specifically, but I do know that it looks very similar to him. And I really love the ambiance at night. Like all the stars. It's so freaking gorgeous. I do talk more about like all the lots and even the family descriptions in my Build by Mode review portion of the video, so you guys should definitely check that out. Like I said, this is the Valtori family, and look, there's the vampire right there, I think. And then we have Mr. Stroud that lives over there. This is just like an empty home for your Sims to move into, and then there's like this little empty lot that you can put whatever you want. I am going to be doing a supernatural kind of bar build, so I will be able to go ahead and show you guys. Well, not really show you, but you'll be able to have something there if you wanted to in your game. A little like community lot. And then there's tons of things to explore too. Like there's this little cave thingy. I don't know if you can actually do anything with it as you get maybe more skilled in handiness. I don't know if that's like the same thing, but there's also like this very eerie tree over here, which I really loved, complete with bench. And it looks like this. I just love all of the little fine details. There's like several fishing points too, which I'll talk about later why this is so important. But yeah, look how beautiful the scenery is. Like it's small, but it's quaint. It has a lot of personality and places to explore. Like I was really, really excited about that. Like even though they aren't designated lots or anything, there's just a ton to do. There's just a ton. Like, I get it. You know, it's a smaller community full of vampires. Like, there's not going to be this big town. You know, they don't want to get discovered or anything. So it does make sense. And I'm glad that it's probably the perfect size. It's pushing too small where you would want more. But I think that one extra lot really does help. Helps, you know, kind of give it, you know, something, I guess, like another place to explore. You can add whatever you want in there. I think that's kind of cool. Otherwise, if it was only 4 lots, yeah, that's definitely too small. Like 5 is just probably the bare minimum at this point. So I'm trying to see how Amelia is doing. She hasn't gotten any phone calls at all. But usually when he does call, in case you guys are interested, it'll be like, it'll tell you like, you know, like your different stages of your transition and, you know, like what to do, what not to do. It'll walk you through it. So even though you're probably going to know by the end of this video how it all works, you know, you'll have somebody hopefully to mentor you. I wish he was showing up, but it's just a cute thing, you know? It's so annoying. Okay. So I'm still waiting for her to be turned. I feel like we did talk about quite a bit though. So there's just like a whole bunch of other cool little things. Like I guess I could touch base on the skills and I'll talk a little bit more about the skills later on. So there are 2 new skills to be had. We have the vampire lore, which any sim can do. You don't need to be a vampire to learn about vampires, but there's definitely perks to learning about vampire secrets when you are a vampire yourself. And that I'm going to save for when we get into the other part of this video. So as you guys can see, in order to research vampires or learn about them, all you need to do is go onto the computer and you can discover vampire secrets. Amelia is diving deep into researching vampires. There seems to be a lot of knowledge she can unlock as she continues to research. And it's true. There's like things, interactions, a whole bunch of cool stuff that you can actually, you know, make and as an asset to your vampire life, or if you just want to become somebody who's just fascinated with vampires in general, it's a really good resource. And then there's just more things as you go on, and I'll talk about it because I actually have the Valtori siblings, one of them on level 4, so we can go ahead and talk about that a little bit later on. So I think she should be transitioning sometime today. I know this is like taking a really freaking long time, but I'm probably going to go ahead and fast forward until the moment of her transition. So then that's a way we can go ahead and move on to the good stuff. All right, the moment of truth. Like I said, about a day and a half later, Amelia is finally completing her transition. So when your sim is ready, you'll kind of be able to hear this very, like, I think it's called ominous, I don't even know, this very, very spooky music, and your sim will get this little, okay. All right, so it is time for Amelia to finally complete her transition. Like I said, about a day and a half later, when it is time, this very spooky music will play, and your sim will get this little bubble that says transform into vampire. As you guys are going to also notice, Amelia is sporting these very lovely bite marks on her neck. So let's go ahead and watch this transition unfold. Her belly is gurgling. Okay. Woo! Oh my goodness. It is official. She is a vampire for real this time. And this just so happens to be what her dark form looks like. It's a very interesting, lovely shade of gold you got on your lips there, sis. All right, so typically when you do receive those phone calls, which I'm obviously super perplexed about, you'll receive some plasma packs. Yeah, so you'll be able to immediately start, jumping on the thirst wagon. So right now, she is a fledgling vampire. Her next level would be minor vampire, and she has some power points to also spend on making herself a little more powerful. But she can only choose from this level because she's, again, just starting out. We'll talk about that more once we get into the other households. But just a quick little FYI, vampires do burn in the sun. Now, there is a power point you can purchase when you become a more powerful vampire that allows you to walk amongst the immortals in the daylight. So you just got to be really careful about that. By the way, this is what the new panel looks like. So you have vampire energy, which depletes really, really quickly if you're in the sun. A really cool way to kind of restore that is being able to just simply do some dark meditation. And of course, when you're just starting out, you can do dark meditation or show your dark form. But as you become more powerful, there's more options for you to unlock. So right now, she's still feeling very just sick and nasty. She feels stuffed up from illness. What does it say? There is a party inside Amelia May's face with the sole intent of thrashing the place. And then the vomit sound. So she just feels like crap right now, pretty much, from transitioning. Which it'll go away in a few days and she'll be able to settle into her new life state and everything will be fine. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and change your dark form, you could easily do that by using the mirror. Or actually, you could use your dresser too. You don't have to walk around with gold lips or whatever randomized dark form that you just so freaking gracefully get. Anyway, so you have thirst, which obviously there are ways to be able to kind of quench that thirst. You can either go easily find a unexpected soul. They can't be vampires though. And then you just click on them and you drink plasma. You can either compel for a small drink, you can ask for permission to drink, or you can compel for a deep drink. So this just gets you beak wet. And this, you go in for the kill. And then after here, you ask for permission. What I'm going to have her go do, since she is just a little bit thirsty, we're going to come up and drink some plasma and compel her for a small drink. And then we have social, fun, and hygiene. So you're going to notice a couple other things like bladder are no longer in play. I guess vampires just don't pee. I don't know why. They just don't. And then other ones maybe you guys can point out because I can't really tell right now. So anyway, let's go find this poor soul as Amelia is in her underwear with spots everywhere. Like, you know what? Keeping it classy, girl. Keeping it classy. All right, so all she needs to do is just hypnotize the sim. You don't have to be like super good friends with them as you would be in the Sims 3. Like you can just literally bite anybody, which I love. And it's like a real bite too on the neck. It's not like the little, cheesy hand bite or whatever. I should really get going now. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later. And look, she has bite marks on her neck. How freaking cool. Like seriously, the levels of realism. And I think Amelia didn't turn into her dark form, did she? Did she turn into her dark form? Does she have red eyes now? Let's see. I don't know. Stop moving around. No, wait. I can't tell. Because what is she doing? Sit still for 2 seconds, girl. Stop tweaking. Oh, she's coughing now, too. I don't know. I can't tell if her eyes are red. But yeah, that's pretty much that there. So we've completed Amelia's transition, and we've showed you just the basics of basically starting out as a vampire, let's go ahead and explore a more experienced vampire family, shall we? We're going to actually hop over to the Valtore household, and there we'll get a little more in depth with all the features, and I'll be able to talk about the ranks and all that kind of fun stuff. We pretty much went over feeding, but there is still a couple more things I have to share with you. So we'll go ahead and tap bases on that right now and just kind of get that one out of the way. So here we have Lilith, and we have her brother, Caleb, who is actually a much stronger vampire than she is. His next rank is going to be Grandmaster, which, as I talked about earlier, these are the different levels. There's 5 in total, and Grandmaster is the tip top of them all. And she is kind of, well, she's actually right there with him, but a little on the lesser side of things. All right, so Caleb is a good vampire. So if he drinks plasma from a sim, he's going to get a negative moodlet. He wants to make friends, and he actually lives a very relatively normal lifestyle. His sister, on the other hand, she wants to create a vampire family, which I had mentioned earlier. She wants to convert 5 sims into full-grown vampires, and she wants to train 3 of her offspring, which I thought was really freaking awesome. So Caleb needs to create some plasma packs. So after you do, let's just talk about this, okay? Let's talk about the brand new skill vampire lore, okay? So I'm going to get Lilith to get off the computer because honestly, like, nobody cares about her right now. Caleb's the star. As I was mentioning earlier, the new skill under Vampire Secrets, you can go ahead and search for information on vampires. The more skilled you get in this particular skill itself, you'll be able to actually, if you are a vampire, you'll be able to purchase your very own plasma packs at level 3. You can order your own plasma packs. Each plasma pack comes at about 50 simoleons, and it'll be under the Vampire Secrets, which is kind of weird. You would think it'd be under like the ordering section of things, like more choices, order, but it's not. It's literally under Vampire Secrets. So if I wanted to order some plasma packs, they're $50 a pack. I can order as many or as few as I want, whatever, submit, they immediately go into your inventory. Let's just purchase one. Hypothetically, there you go. We have them. So you're going to notice this plasma pack looks a little bit different than that plasma pack. So as you continue to level up in your skill, you can, at level 4, create your own plasma packs, which I think is so amazing. You get to be able to, save a couple extra simoleons and whatever. So all that you need to do to be able to do that is you need to be able to catch yourself a fish or find yourself a rana, a frog. Once you've got yourself a nice little fish or frog, you're able to actually go ahead and click on them in your inventory and hit create plasma pack. This is so helpful for sims that need a quick little snack, a little pick-me-up, or perhaps if your sim is like Caleb and he's a good vampire, you're not going to want to be feeding on anyone's arteries. So let's go ahead and have him drink up on his plasma pack. Let's go see. I really am excited about this, actually. So there he goes. He puts in his little straw and sippy. There he goes, drinking his little Caprice Sud. So I just really wanted to go ahead and share that with you. I thought that was really awesome. And as you can imagine, vampires gain skills faster. It's just one of the many perks of becoming one. So anyway, he's on level 4 of that vampire lore skill. I think there's 10 total, I believe. I'm not exactly sure. There might be only 5. It might be a smaller skill set. I'm not 100% sure. That's something you are going to have to explore. So while we're on the topic of skills, we're also going to go ahead and talk about the organ. You can purchase an organ and then have somebody play for you. So obviously hiring an organist, or you can practice yourself, which we'll do really, really quick. We'll have Caleb go ahead and, since he's feeling a little bit bored, he will go and play for us. Now, he just acquired the organ skill, so let's go see what that looks like. I was, really surprised when I saw that there was 2 new skill sets. I was like, what? Here it is, the pipe organ. Let's go read on it. It says the pipe organ is the instrument for the pianist who wants to crank it up to 11. Notable and the largest instrument in the world, this is sure to make an impression at your next jam session. Use the pipe organ to improve pipe organ skills. Increasing the skill will unlock new songs and interactions on the pipe organ, including the ability to write songs. Cool. That's really, really, really exciting, actually. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely check it out. I'm pretty pumped. Okie dokie. So let's talk about the next thing that I really want to talk about. I'm so excited. Okay, I'm so excited. Under needs, you have the different levels of being a vampire. Whoop, whoop. So one of my things was, how can I walk in the sun without burning my skin off and then potentially dying? Because you can die if you're in the sun too long. But again, as I mentioned, if your energy is low, I pretty much think you need to use it all up and then you'll die. But if you do your little dark meditation, whatever, replenish a little bit of it, you should be able to be okay, I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. So as we had mentioned, Caleb is on level 4 of the vampire, how do you say, vampire strength skill or whatever. It's not really a skill, I guess. But anyway, so once he gets to a certain amount of perk points or power points, he can actually purchase different abilities. So he can do supernatural speed. He can do, which I think will be able to allow you to walk as fast as he does. So I think he has this one already. I'm not 100% sure. And then being resistant to the sun or whatever. Command, garlic won't affect him. There's just a whole bunch of different things to do. So if I wanted to purchase one, I think I can actually purchase, okay, because he already has, okay, these are the ones that he has then. But he's not sun resistant, so what the hell? It's kind of weird. And he is a guilty drinker, because if you do get all these like perks and stuff, there's a downfall. You have to choose some weaknesses. So because he has all of these different power points or power perks, I guess is what we could call them, he is a guilty drinker. So this means if he does drink off of a sim, he's going to feel bad about it. He's going to have a negative moodlet from it. And he's also somebody who recovers his energy a little more slowly. So if you want to be powerful, you're going to have to take a few weaknesses, which kind of sucks. But in order to gain more power points, you basically have to do things like gaining experience. You can spar with other vampires, you can drink plasma, and do vampire things to gain some experience, I guess, as you would say. And then as you tip-top each level, in each branch, I suppose is how I would describe it, you gain more power points. Do you see what I'm saying? Like each little milestone, I guess. There's like 3 milestones in a set, and then you gain, some points to spend. So we're going to go ahead and go from vampiric allure to vampiric fascination. So basically, your ability to attract and seduce other sims has grown beyond a mere charm to a full-on allure. And then he can now, with a single glance, your seductive charisma can lure in a fascinated mortal to your side. So we're going to go and do that. And we have 1 power point left, which I'm not sure if I can spend on anything. I can actually purchase garlic immunity. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I don't have to take any weaknesses, so thank God. Now that we're going to go ahead and do that, we're going to go and click the check mark, and we have purchased our brand new power points. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of what this all means. If I was to click on him, I can do vampire. Now I can do alluring visage, which should be a little more than just alluring, I guess. It should be full-on vampire fascination, but maybe that just doesn't change. So for him, if I did it and I clicked it, he would start glowing, I think, pink, or he might even start glowing red. So there you go. Now he is super duper alluring. And because he did that, he earned a little experience, and we're just barely so close to hitting that halfway mark. Now let's go ahead and see what else we can do. We can do our dark meditation, which I showed you guys earlier. He does need a little energy, so we'll go ahead and do that. That's what it looks like. And let's also show his dark form, which I don't know if you can do right off the bat. Caleb doesn't really have a dark form. Like I said, he's a pretty good vampire. And then you can also disable your vampiric run. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and wake up Lilith. And like I said, depending on what kind of power points and just level you're at, there's going to be different interactions for every vampire. Like, seriously, they're truly customizable. It's crazy. All right, so for her, she obviously doesn't have that whole allure thing. But let's get these two to go ahead and spar outside. So they're both going to go and run here while it's early and just before the sun comes up. So look at him. He's just like so freaking magical and mystical. He's definitely becoming much more powerful than his sister. And we're receiving a message. Oh, there's a rumor going around. I don't care. God, go away, Mandy. She's an alien. I feel like with the increase of vampires, there's like more aliens around. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe they're getting jealous. So you can also recall your mortal life. There's a whole bunch of different interactions brewed about being a vampire. Immortals also have a whole bunch of different types of options when it comes to like discussing vampires. It's really fun. All right, so we can also, as a vampire, command Sims. We can command other vampires to work out, sit, repair, clean. We can also compel them to be mean, just a various amount of different options. So I am going to try to find where we can spar. If she was more powerful than us, we could actually offer, or we could request some training. But if she was of lesser experience, we can actually offer her some training. Just a little FYI there. So let's find the spar, because I know I can. I just don't see it right now. There it is. Okay, cool. So this will actually have us gain experience. And maybe we'll be able to get some more PowerPoints here. All right, so let's go ahead and have them spar. It's actually kind of cool watching them fight, you know? Just like I said, very Vampire Diaries inspired. There we go. So now they're beating each other up, and we'll see which one wins. They're very similar in terms of... Is she frozen? Is she like frozen? What is she doing? She's chilling in her underwear? Oh my god! You guys, they're going for it. Ooh, Caleb is most certainly the stronger vampire. And look at her getting all fascinated. Oh, he shakes his hand and taps her on the shoulder. Beautiful. So we got some moodlets. From Dark Energy, right? Okay, we got the attraction thing. Productive duel. A good sparring session. Even immortal vampires need to practice the all sweet moves if the plan is being one, I guess. All right. So with that, he was able to go ahead and get some more PowerPoints. So let's go and choose some, shall we? If we have enough. He's able to be the child of the moon. Ooh. The nighttime is the right time for a nocturnal undead. As a child of the moon, Caleb will be able to wield more powers. He will be able to earn skills faster, will tire less quickly, and become more happier in the embrace of the moon. Awesome. He can also be irresistible slumber, manipulate life spirit. Okay, unlocks the power over life itself, drains the life spirit from other Sims, making them highly susceptible to adverse powers. Enables Caleb to protect the ones he loves or simply refresh his prey. Well, he's a good vampire, so I don't really see him doing all that, but there's like a whole bunch of other things that we can purchase. Oh, eternally welcome. Having to ask permission to enter the home is so pedestrian. Not only can Caleb enter a home without invitation, with just a small burst of vampire energy, he can lock and unlock doors as he sees fit and wreak havoc, of course. That is another thing I need to mention to you guys. I was playing my current household. We're going to actually purchase this because I want to see what this looks like. I was playing my current household the other day. And let's go have Caleb test this theory. And she was sleeping, right? So she was sleeping in her bed. And all of a sudden, a vampire walks into her house, completely uninvited, like I had no control over it. And he compelled her to allow her to drink, or allow him to drink from her. So he literally woke her up out of a dead sleep and drank from her. It was so cool. So I guess maybe that is a thing that you can do. Let's go visit the Goth family. Poor Goth family. All right, and we'll see if this is a option. Like I said, I don't have to be invited in or knock on the door. I'm all for that. That is so awesome. Let's go try it out. All right, so I think we're almost done with this review too. I mean, like, I feel like I've gone through so much. There's just a bunch. All right, so here we are. Okay, ooh, girl, yes. All right, so we can do vampire deny access to everyone. Ooh, we can control the door. And we can do vampiric entrance. Enter the residence without being greeted. Let's see what that looks like. Could you imagine a sim who was able to steal? Ooh, he can just waltz right in there. No. Did it work? It didn't work, did it? It didn't work. Oh my god, it did not work. Let's try it again. Come on, Caleb, you can do it. It might take a couple times, but I think he should be able to do this. Knock on door. He isn't able to go inside? What? Oh my god, what the hell is this crap? I thought you were able to go inside the damn door. Deny everyone but Caleb. Locks the door for everyone but Caleb. Why can't he go inside? This is so stupid. Enter the residence without being greeted. Okay, I'm trying. Why isn't he able to get inside now? Huh. Okay, well, it isn't working. So let's go ahead. Wait, knock on door. Maybe it's okay, he does not have enough energy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so maybe you have to have a certain amount of energy to be able to do that. But I honestly can imagine it being able to work. I just would think you'd probably have to have more energy to do so. And actually each time that you do that, you're depleting your energy, right? So kind of makes sense that would be something not so easily obtainable. I'm gonna go ahead and switch to control Lilith really quick while we get Caleb to come back after that failed attempt to gain entrance. I'm sure he'll practice the skill a little bit, and he'll be able to do it a little more efficiently later on. Alrighty, so let's go see how Mrs. Lilith is doing. She's totally fine. She's actually playing some chess. So one of the cool things that I wanted to also talk about is the what is it called? Coffin. So as you guys can already tell, there's two different ways vampires, well, actually three different ways vampires can gain some energy. They can sleep in a traditional bed if they wanted, or they can do some meditation. And last but not least, they can also sleep in a coffin. So we can hibernate in a coffin, we can sleep in a coffin, we can also engrave the coffin, claim it, and I think hibernate. Did I already say that? So I'm actually going to have Lilith, she's going to go and hibernate in the coffin really quick. And I think hibernation is when a sim will just kind of sleep for as long as you want them to, regardless of their energy. Like they'll just sleep. They'll just sleep for like ever, which is really cool. So I think that's pretty awesome. All right, let's bring him back. Poor Caleb. He is burning in the sun. He is literally burning in the freaking sun. And let's go have him run inside. He's actually going to work right now, so that's totally freaking awesome. But yeah, I think that's about it. There's one last thing that I have to share with you guys. All right, Lilith, let's go ahead and have you wake up out of your coffin. All right, she should be able to come out of here. And yes, there is Coffin, woohoo. There is. If you had a sim, oh my god, she's like planking, taking it to a whole nother level. If you had two sims that were madly in love, you know, mortal, whatever, they could do the dirty in the coffin, and I'm not even kidding. I don't have sims to show you, but I guess that would be a fun little treat if you want to look at it that way for you to explore yourself. All right, so let's go take Mrs. Lilith over to the rattlesnake juice. As a vampire, I would imagine she would kind of want to stay out of the sunlight or stay out of the limelight, and that's exactly why I want a supernatural bar, because it just makes more sense to me. And yeah, I'll show you guys the brand new bar drink that is available for your sims. And mortals can even drink this too. So all we need to do is go over to the bar and order ourselves a drink. We are going to go ahead and order the Plasma Jade. It's vegetarian safe, which I don't know how this would be. Almost said vaginal safe. I don't know how this would be vegetarian safe if it's made out of blood or plasma. Maybe it's like synthetic plasma. But anyway, this girl has no qualms about making us the drink at all. She's literally mixing it up, and I guess she has an unlimited supply of plasma because she is having no freaking problem whipping up this drink. I'm not sure if she's in her dark form right now. She is. She's actually in her dark form right now with her freaking glowing eyes and all. And that is what the little plasma Jane looks like. It is so freaking cute. I love it with its little ice cubes. And apparently Sim's blood is purple. Interesting. All right, so that's pretty much everything I think I have to showcase with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of glance over my notes really quick while she enjoys her plasma Jane. Let's see. Yeah, I think we pretty much did talk about everything. Like I said, there's just a whole bunch of interactions and different things to achieve and powers to unlock, just kind of depending on your vampire skill, which essentially creates a very unique experience to each player, and I think that's really awesome. Now, it may seem like I kind of went through everything so quickly because it's a review, and basically that's the point, just to kind of plow through it, but trust me, there is so many things left to discover, and not to mention, just because your vampires are different, you're going to have, like I said, that unique experience, and along with the storyline or whatever else, I'm sure you guys are going to have an amazing time with this pack. This pack is so in-depth when it comes to vampires. This is exactly what I like to see. Many people are like, oh, they should just do a freaking whole LP on vampires or supernatural, being or EP. But vampires came out in The Sims 3 at late night, right? Or City Life or whatever the hell it was called. So, I mean, they have always kind of had their own deal. Of course, I would love to see, maybe some werewolves and things. I think that would be really amazing. I did notice, though, just before we go, oh my god, I can't remember where it is, but there is like a shrine to what, I guess it's a gargoyle is what it's called, but it really looks like a werewolf to me. Like, it looks like a freaking werewolf. I'll have to find it for you guys if I can. I can't remember where it's located at, but yeah, it's seriously, I'm telling you, I feel like it's like a hint. I swear, like, werewolves will come. I love werewolves, but honestly, out of all the life states that I play, it'd be vampires. And just to go ahead and answer the age-old question of when is the Springsteen Legacy going to come? It is going to come soon. I wanted to go ahead and actually experience this pack for myself. I need some time to plan things. I also need to wrap up Black Widow, and I also need to wrap up City or the Island Challenge before I bring it back. But don't worry, it will come back. I swear to you. It's just going to take a little bit of time. And I was waiting for the release of Vampires to be able to finally add them into my game, and I did not know if they were going to come or not. So actually, I'm going to have Lilith go ahead and turn Mrs. Nyla. Oh, she rejected our... Ooh, she rejected it. Interesting. I didn't know that was even a possibility. All right, so let's go ahead and try this again. I'm actually going to see if I can get a successful turn. Vampire, command... Let's see, turn into vampire. He's really tense right now. So recall mortal life. I don't know if any of these things are going to scare him. I'm not trying to scare him, but I do want to turn somebody so you guys can see kind of what this looks like. Now, I don't know if anybody has turned her specifically, but it doesn't really seem to be the case. Okay, perfect. So we finally got somebody. I think I've turned him before, and his name is Dominic. So watch what happens. All right, so now that we've turned, or almost turned him. Okay, perfect. Dominic has consumed the essence of a vampire and will turn in a few days' time. Ooh, perfect. So it should say offspring. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So under relationships, it's acquaintances and it is offspring. Then you'll notice that right here, it says convert 5 Sims into full-grown vampires. She has 1 out of 5. So, of course, mixing it up, playing with the different types of aspirations, personality types, benefits, disadvantages, advantages of being a vampire. You guys are going to have so much fun with this pack. I really do love it. To be honest with you, at first, I was like, I really am excited primarily for this because of the fact that it's going to be, for my Springsteen LP. But I wasn't like immediately from the jump super excited for everything. Like, I was really just mostly excited for the fact that it was going to be for the Springsteens, and I just love vampires in general. Like, the gameplay part of it, I didn't think I was really going to have so much fun with, just as, like, say... You know what I mean? Like, if I was to play with, like, a current household, to create a sim just to be a vampire, like, I really wasn't like that, like excited at first. And then after I spent all night last night playing, I was really captivated by it and realized how intricate this truly was. Like at a glance, it does not seem like there's going to be that much content. And that is why I wanted to do such an in-depth review on this, is because you guys have got to see firsthand how much is truly in this game pack to really appreciate what it brings. Otherwise, it's going to look at the surface like there's really not a lot, but with all the new skill objects, all the PowerPoints, and all that kind of fun stuff, you guys, there's just, it's limitless. There's just so much to it. So if this is something you are looking for, you want to play a new life state in depth, you want to create some really cool storylines, have a vampire legacy, wreak havoc on your town, enter homes without being announced, you could totally do that. And it's all possible with this game pack. So I definitely suggest it for those who are open to supernatural experiences, who want to, kind of play with, the non-realistic aspects of The Sims and kind of have a good time. Totally get this. $19.99. Like I said, you can get it on Amazon and Origin. Will I be doing a giveaway on this? You know what? I don't see why I shouldn't be able to do a giveaway on this. I am going to. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for two. Let's just do two. Two different, two different winners, I guess. And I'll leave all the details and information down below where the sun does not shine. And I think with that said, we can go ahead and wrap up this gameplay walkthrough right here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please don't forget to go ahead and give this video a big fat thumbs up. And let me know in the comments down below where the sun does not shine. And I will see you all next time. Bye, guys.